What's up, friends? So in this tutorial we are going to look at a lot of commands which are going to be very simple. Remember, in the last tutorial we stopped at updating some names. I showed you how to update, how to create rows, how to create databases, how to insert into data in the database, how to make those, write everything. So in this tutorial we are going to cover also more stuff, and stick around if you want to learn more about the database management. Now, are you seeing we created 4 columns, which the first was an ID, and we set it to auto increment, and we set first name, last name, and age. So those are the columns we are having. We are having 4 columns in the database. Now imagine you're there and your boss comes and says, hey, right now, okay, let me say they're saying, team, now we want to see the structure of our database. Remember, I'm using this PHP so it has everything. So it's like favorable for the beginners. You can see the research, insert, export. Now remember, when you're at some institute or at the university where you're studying this, you'll be using a command prompt or a command prompt shell. Let me show it to you. Let me write CMD. So you'll be using such stuff, and there will be no structure. As you're seeing right now here, there is word structure. I can click there and it shows me the structure for the page. Now, are you seeing it shows me that there is ID, first name, age, the type, the correlations, the attribute, the null, default, extra, increment. So when you're using this shell, there will be nothing like structure. No, that's why we are using the SQL command area, where we insert into data the structured query language, and this is where we write all the queries. So imagine this is the command prompt, and I'm told by my boss, hey, can you please show us the structure of the database? Now what you have to do is to write DC. So here you're like, yeah, describe. Now what do you want to describe? I want to describe citizen. And when you are using the shell, don't forget to terminate your statement after all the code. Now when you're done here, you're telling the database, hey, can you describe for me this table of citizen? And when you're done, come and press go. Boom. And I will show you, you have fields. The fields are IDs, first name, last name, and age. Now the type of data, here we are storing integers, and here you can put characters, and they should be at least not more than 20, last name not more than this, and age that. And here they would show you in this row of the ID that its key is the primary key, and it has some extra auto increment, so it will be adding one number after the other, so 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. So this is how you describe a table, than going to this, because I'm assuming you may be using the command prompt shell to execute your codes than using this real PHP admin panel. So that's it. I have showed you how you can describe your channel, and the reason why our boss wants us to see the structure of he wanted us to add some column. Are you seeing? There is ID, first name, last name, and age. Now what we have to do, and your boss tells you like, can we add a column of like contacts? We want to get contacts from the citizens of Uganda. So how can we do that? Just go to your query where you write your command from. Now this is what you do. Let me first show you how the table looks like right now. Oh, are you seeing we have only 4 columns? ID, first name, last name, and age. Now your boss wants you to add another column for contacts. How will you do that? So we go to the structured query language area where we write our queries from. Now let us do that. Now to insert in a new column, you have to write alter. So what do you want to alter? I want to alter the table, and when I alter the table, I said the name of the table. I want to alter citizens. So alter table, citizens, and we say add. So what do you want to add? I want to add contacts. So that's what we want to add in the database. So we want to add contacts. Remember, whenever you're adding a row, every row has to be, every column, sorry, not a row, every column has to be having some values. So let me see. It has to be with an integer type. I say a column will be an integer, so there will be number. Why am I saying a column? So contacts will be an integer number. That's the data type for the integer, and we say should not be empty, not null. And where do you want to place it? Where do you want to place this column contacts? Let me say I want to place it after last name. So you write after last name. So let me explain to you. We are saying alter table citizen, add another column called contact, and this, its data type is going to be integers, so contacts are numbers, and it should not be empty, not null, and set it after last name. So after last name, they give us the column of contacts. When you're done, press go in your command prompt, press enter. And I will say MySQL returned an empty result. Let's check our table and see. Boom, they have added another column of contacts, but right now it's empty, showing zeros only because we set it to an integer and it cannot be empty, so they have to put there some value like 0. Now that's it. That's how you can add columns in your database using only this command line. Now let me see, I showed you how to update, but still we are going to be updating stuff in our database. Whenever we add more columns, we have to update those rows. So I want to put now the number for Casita Timothy. Are you seeing? It's showing 0. So I go back to my SQL area, then I say update. Now what do you want to update? I want to update citizens and set the contacts. I want this to be uppercase. I prefer it being uppercase. Set contacts. So these are the ones we want to set. I want set contacts equals. Now I write effect number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and say that stringify it where ID. So you have to specify the ID where ID equals 1. So since Casita Timothy is the first person in the database, is having ID 1, and I want to update his column, so set citizen. So we are updating citizen, and we set the contact to this where ID equals this. When I press go, I'm going to copy this, copy that, and I first run it so that you can see. Now one row affected. Go back and you're seeing boom, but remember it's leaving out the 0 because 0 is nothing. It was the first character to be displayed, and you'll just know that this number starts with a 0 basing on the country you'll be in. Now as you can see, we have updated the first column, we have given it some contacts. Now we can go on adding contacts to every user. Let me see, there are 13 citizens. I'm going to paste this like 12 times because the first row is affected already. ID equals, now this one is 2 since we gave the first one. This one is going to be 3. This one is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we want to give everyone some number. 9. This one is 10. 11, 12. Now the last one, this one is 13. So remember, we gave the first one an ID starting from 1. Now these are the ones we are going to be updating. Hope we're not lost, because we are setting, we have to change also some numbers here. So at least they should not be the same. So I'm just updating them. I guess that's okay. Now when I'm done updating all those columns are using ID 1, where ID, so up to 13. When you're done, you press go. And they will show you one row affected, one row affected. So go back to your database. And you're seeing every user was given a number in the database. So that's how you can update columns. We added this column and boom, we have updated everything. So we didn't have to go back and delete the table, write another table afresh. So that's how you can update your details and add columns into your database. Lastly, let us create another column and see if what we did is okay. Go back to SQL. Remember, we said when you're adding a column, you say alter table. So you write the table you want. I want alter citizens, and we say add. So we are adding another column. Is going to be email, and we say the integer type, the data type is going to be varchar. Should be not be less than 20. It should not be empty, not null. And where do you want it? I want it after age. After age. So we want this column email after this word age, or the first column. When you're done, press go. So it's loading, and they say MySQL returned an empty result. Browse and see. And this is what we are having. We have added another column called email. So that's how you can add columns to your database. And as usual, test yourself. I want you to feed in some fake emails here for these users. You can write whatever you want, and I see if you learned how to update the database. So guys, I will see you in the next tutorial. Let's this work for this tutorial, and we shall look at more in the next tutorial, because this stuff took a lot of time updating these users or citizens in this database. So come next tutorial, we are going to be looking at other things and more with this channel. Please subscribe, share on the different social medias. I'll see you later.